I am here for an all signs reading today. So if you do come across this reading, it can be for you. It's for all signs, for all of those ancient souls out there. So when you do come across this video, feel free to take in a deep breath, connect with your inner source to see what parts of this reading may resonate with you. Now, again, it's general and timeless. However, we do have that full moon in Sagittarius that is it tomorrow or in 2 days? It's in the next few days, or it might actually be tomorrow. I forget if it's the 9th or the 10th of June today. So with that though, comes a release, right? The full moons are always about release. We do have Sagittarius, which is expanding, it's wisdom, it's limiting beliefs, releasing those limiting beliefs. Now, for this particular live, for this particular reading, I heard the words, you need to know this before the blessing comes in. There is something it is, and what's coming through for you is that you are receiving either some sort of soul wisdom. There's some sort of learning or some sort of soul cycle that you go through before the blessing comes in, and it's for the blessing to come in. Okay, I'm also seeing like a road opener. All right, so maybe for some of you that resonates with you, but whenever you do come across this video, take a deep breath, connect with that inner source. We're going to see what it is that you need to know before this blessing comes in for you. What I'm hearing is this blessing is like a part of your fate. All right, it's a part of your soul destiny, visionary, that eye to see. Imhotep may resonate with you. We have visionary over here. What is it that the All Signs Collective needs to know? This is all about Kundalini energy. So for some of you, you've been through some sort of spiritual awakening or Kundalini awakening. And that actually might be what this is. That is what it is that you go through before some sort of blessing. All right, and I'm even seeing like your pineal gland, the color gold, which it did come out today in the All Signs reading. So feel free to go check out the reading for All Signs that just uploaded. We do have beautiful change. So as there is some sort of Kundalini awakening, some sort of Kundalini experience in your life, this Kundalini awakening, this spiritual awakening is what allows you to all of the blessings. However, and this is just coming through channeled right away too, understand that the Kundalini awakening, yes, it's ascension. It's just as destructive, right? That Kundalini awakening, that Kundalini rising of the spine, it's releasing from the root what no longer serves you, the emotions that no longer serves you, the limiting beliefs, etc. But what's coming through for you, particularly collective, is there's a spiritual awakening. There's a Kundalini awakening that you had to go through, or you will go through, right before whatever's in alignment with your soul destiny, right? So timeline comes in for you. Life force energy, which has everything to do with Kundalini. Life force energy is also that Reiki energy. It's your chi. And then we have visionary here. All right. Now for the collective, for what they need to know before all of these blessings come in. Why do we have visionary and life force energy? Hello, always. Why do we have visionary and life force energy? Trust. There was a conversation I had maybe a year ago that it's coming up in this reading. This world does not support your Kundalini awakening. A patriarchal world doesn't support it. In your Kundalini awakening, you have to surrender. 333 as I say that. You can't fight a Kundalini awakening. You sit with that inner feminine. You sit with your emotions. You sit with whatever the heck is coming up, right? And so you're about to receive a blessing. Like whoever is here, whoever watches this video, even afterwards, you are about to receive a really big blessing. However, you had to go through that Kundalini awakening or spiritual awakening before. And they never look or feel pretty at all. Trust the seasons, embracing change, cycles of life, transition, and growth. So that growth cycle, that is what aligns you to that blessing. But without that growth cycle, without maybe some sort of spiritual Kundalini awakening here, that blessing didn't or wouldn't have come in. All right. And so, yes, it's a cycle of kind of uncomfortability, some sort of awakening cycle. It's what brings in all of the blessings for you. Trust the seasons. I'm going to grab a few more cards and then we're going to get to the tarot. Feel free to drop in the comments below saying hello to your neighbor, your sun, moon, and rising. I'm a Pisces sun, Sagittarius. Yes. Woo, 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 nomad woo. Here it comes. Yes, here it comes. Sag moon, we do have a full moon in Sagittarius coming up in the next 2 days. All right, Divine Mother and Father, Holy Spirit of God, for all signs today. This has to happen, or it's going to happen before that blessing comes in. Why do we have trust the seasons, visionary, and life force energy, light activation. Yeah, you were going through some sort of activation before everything comes in for you. Lady Portia may resonate with you, or even Sanat Kumara. All right, shine your light. Your internal guidance is coming through loud and clear. But those seasons, even those uncomfortable seasons collective, that's a part of your becoming. That is a part of your blessings. And it's interesting, I said road opener at the beginning of this reading. You know, you may see a pause in your life. And what I think of as a sacred pause, even like I just paused. A Kundalini awakening or a spiritual awakening in your life is simply a sacred pause. But we have been so colonized, we've been, right, patriarchy, all of these different things, that most of the world doesn't even know how to take a sacred pause or to rest. You know, where it's actually very divine to say, hey, I'm having a Kundalini awakening, and I'm not going to show up here or there. It's very divine. That's actually how things are supposed to be. But remembering that we're living in a patriarchal world, that people are not allowed to just be, you know, just listen, to be present. So there is a big awakening here that has happened for you already, or will happen, but that blessing comes in right afterwards. All right, so let's see what this is. I'm going to grab just a few cards from the deck right here. Why do we have light activation, divine order, trust the seasons? Your emotions recognized. You could resonate with runes over here. My awakening at work was not fun. Yeah, and that's the thing, like it happens like that, right? Where it's like, oh, I can't come into work today, you know, and that's the highest truth, though, like of surrender, right? And runes may resonate with you, symbols, etc. But that's what I'm seeing is like for some of you, maybe you've even taken some time off or had to take a sacred pause, etc. But it was very divine, and it is how all of the blessings come in. And like I said, road opener. This is the road opener. However, it's not in a candle form. So it's not like going to Botanica, getting a road opener. You are the road opener. And that's what some of you need to know. You are the road opener. These awakenings is the road opener. You clearing out that route, that's a road opener. You know, and as soon as I say that, I get a message too. So confirmation. This awakening, you know, whether spiritual awakening, Kundalini awakening, whatever resonates with you, this is the road opener. Every tear you've cried, everything you've purged out is only fertilizer. And as soon as I say that, I'm seeing Goddess Isis Osset in the Nile River, and the fertile land of the Nile and of Egypt. And what I'm seeing though is like, again, everything you've purged, your tears, your everything, all of that was only simply fertilizer for all of the blessings that are coming in for you. All right, so let's see this. Now, runes, again, may resonate with you because we do have runes here. So maybe some of that Norse energy. For all signs for the collective, for this reading of this had to happen for the blessings to come in. Why do we have for the collective, visionary, life force energy, trust the seasons, light activation, divine order? Why do we have light activation, divine order, trust the seasons, visionary? It realigns you with God's will, though. The Chariot card, your highest timeline, whatever resonates with you. And I will say, confirmation of like some sort of spiritual awakening is the road opener for you, as we have the Hangman, represented by Piscean energy, but it represents an awakening. It represents seeing things from a different perspective. Collective. There was a lot of clearing over here. 5 of Wands, 8 of Cups. All right, a lot of conflict without of you in some way, shape, or form. What was the 5 of Wands over here? What is this conflict for all signs? But again, at the end of this reading, what we're seeing already is it realigns you with, right? So alignment, say God's will, that higher timeline of yours, whatever resonates with you, and to receive all of those blessings. All right, but through the mess is how you get into that perfect space, that time, etc. And I'm also hearing perfect space and time. That may mean something for you, or you're going to be collective in the perfect space at the perfect time to receive something. All right. Now for the collective, what's this 5 of Wands? What was this conflict that they were clearing out? Why the 5 of Wands here for the collective? Oof. Why Ace of Wands and the 5 of Wands here for the collective? Clearing out a lot here. You know what's coming? You're walking away. You cleared out a lot. Yeah, that was the road opener. It's like walking away from things, saying no to things. What I am seeing is that you have had to make hard decisions, especially with the Knight of Swords over here when it comes to your journey. You could be seeing the number 111. That can mean that this reading's for you. Five of Wands, there was a lot of conflict, a lot of decisions you had to make of, I'm saying yes to my whatever, it's my sovereignty, my power, my journey. I'm saying yes to my higher timeline. And as you said yes to your higher timeline, collective, it cleared out so much. You're like saying yes, right? It's like, well, I said yes to my higher timeline, so I have to say no to my lower self. I have to say no to these parts of my lower self. These parts of my life, those people that represent my lower self, I had to say no to those things. I see a lot of law, like walking away, things like that, hard decisions. This is you recreating your life. This is you saying yes to the higher reality and being brave to say no to the things that are not in alignment with that. Hi, Ashley. How are you? Hi, Sandra. Hi, Carol. Yeah, and you did go within. You said yes to a new beginning, but with that, you cleared out what has to be cleared out. Why the Two of Swords for this Five of Wands here for the collective? Oof. Yeah. You said no to a lot of things. Good morning. Oh, good afternoon, rather, Robin. How are you? Gemini season is bringing up all the Mercury retrograde is coming up, but hi, Corey Gamble. How are you? Boom, live. I did say that I go live randomly. I do the pop-up lives. Now, what I do see with the Two of Swords, though, is we do have Death card over here. All right, so not only have you had to say no to a lot of things, there's something else here, though. Why Two of Swords with the Death card for this Five of Wands? What kind of energy? Oh, collective. It does say big change, but let me tell you. Yeah, that's why we're doing this reading, to bring clarity, because the name of this reading is This Has to Happen Before the Blessing. I have to hold on to my seat over here because, wow, you went through a huge clearing, but to the point that no wonder you thought something bad was happening to you. No wonder you thought of oh crap, what the heck is going on in my life? Did someone do something? Actually, no. Now, it did involve people. Though. It involved people in the sense of you said yes to your higher timeline. When you say yes to the higher timeline, you have to say no to the things, the people, even the ways that you used to think of your lower self. We think of say someone getting married, right? Say someone gets married. When you say yes to that person, you can't say no to the other. I mean, it depends, I guess, what your situation is. But for the most part, right? You get where I'm going with that one. When you say yes to your higher self, you say no to the ways that you used to think. Those are the old ways. Those are your limiting beliefs. They don't serve your highest truth. These people, they're maybe they're fun or this or that. They're kind of blocking you from your evolution and changing in this and that, etc. And so you have the Death card and the Tower card. I don't know who you are, but you went through an awakening. I just want to give you a hug because no wonder you thought something else was happening to you. Why Death card with the Tower card? You're so protected. Yes, exactly. And I have chills as I say that. No wonder you thought something was happening to you. My Lord, sweet baby Jesus. Now, though, we will talk of the Kundalini awakening, remembering that if you had this spiritual or Kundalini awakening, that Kundalini, I'm thinking of the serpent, right? At the base of the spine, it's coiled at the base of the spine. It awakens there. That's the root of fear. That's the root of chaos. That's the root of this, of that. So for some of you, maybe root clearing. Honestly, though, it's the whole world. It's the whole collective. We have Lilith and Scorpio till the end of the year. That's a root clearing, and it's the year of the snake. So in general, the whole world is all signs having a root clearing. But with this collective, that's the true road opener. When you do clear the root is what holds. That's your foundation. So when you clear the root, there's a whole lot that can be held, multiplied, right, etc. So what I'm seeing is whatever was not of your highest truth, such a clearing. You have to say no to things, to people, to yourself. Death card, Tower card, and the Seven of Wands here. You're also very protected. And so when it comes to the people around you, You're protected from, and it's kind of coming out in these words, things or karmic cycles you do not have to go through. You know, where someone comes to you with some sort of energy that's just like, yeah, but you did that work on a soul level. You do not have to repeat that soul cycle. So just also understand that too, you're protected from soul cycles that you do not have to repeat, whatever that may mean for you, which, like, you know, we're infinite and timeless, you know, we're constantly learning and teaching and all of those different things, you know, but yeah, what I do see, it's people, it's things around you, etc., that are kind of bringing you down, bringing you into lower timelines that you've already done the work to come out of, and you're going to be very protected in that sense. All right. Now, Eight of Cups here. Collective walks away. Why the Eight of Cups here? Why the Eight of Cups? Why the Eight of Cups? What is this Eight of Wands? You have Queen of Pentacles. Why Eight of Wands with the Queen of Pentacles? Could have been dealing with a... Yeah, if you were dealing with the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, there was a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn that was not quite telling you the truth. You walked away from that as well. Remember that this is an all signs reading, so it's just for all zodiac signs, general and timeless. Just take what resonates. You not only had a lot of things going on here, collective, you went through a cycle where it was a lot of loss and clearing. However, it feels like the reason why this reading is coming out, again, I worded the reading, you have to go through these things before the blessing. All of this negativity or chaos, etc., that you're going through, that you went through in this reading, it was to open the roads. You actually realigned with your soul destiny and with God's will here. Now, for some of you, there could have even been some sort of financial loss here too. That has everything to do with the root as well. But I also, yeah, Ace of Pentacles. So just confirmation with that. All right, Ace of Pentacles. You could have been through financial clearings. What's also coming through, though, some of you were dealing with the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Why that Queen of Pentacles here? They broke your heart, Three of Swords. But it fixed your vision, Sun card. All right, so yeah, you went through a cycle where it's like you're going through this portal and everything that needs to be released, extracted, you know, removed It wasn't so easy or comfortable, but all of your roads are open by the end of this reading. There's so much coming in for you, and you are in such soul alignment. You know, so like a difficult year, a difficult 3 months, what I do see in this reading is it leads to being freed from that cycle. You know, it leads to maybe certain things that you were learning during this time not coming back up again, or not as intense as it used to be, etc. All right, there's a lot of blessings coming in for you. You do have too many cards over here. Why the Chariot card? Why do we have the Chariot card? Why the Chariot card? You know what's coming through over here? Everything unlocks with some sort of inner child healing. Empress. There we go over here. And then the Star card, right? This is your purity, your faith, you know, and yeah, that is actually, I'm getting like a download about this message right here, right? The Chariot card for me represents always God's will, soul alignment. Eight of Swords, and then the Six of Cups. For some of you, you're wondering, like, how do I come into soul alignment? I'm seeing the solar plexus and the inner child, living life through the eyes of a child, which is not naivety, but that innocence, right? Because we have purity. You could be an adult and live life in the innocence of a child. You can reclaim your innocence. I am a child of God. Doesn't mean that you're perfect, etc., but it means that you're pure, that you're showing up every day in the highest that you can, every day, daily, and it's always going to be higher. It's always going to be different. The Star card over here, hope, faith, and trust. But that is what I see with the, especially with the Empress here. That last maybe thing or blockage or this or that. For some of you, you're wondering, what's blocking me? You've done all the work. You've done a lot of clearing. I'm seeing the solar plexus being a chakra that you can work with, and the inner child. Why Eight of Swords? Which inner child, right? That can also have a lot to do with fear. With this, with that, etc. A child walks through life like the fool, right? A child has a already natural and innate connection to God. It's programming, it's food, it's trauma, etc. That get in the way of our natural abilities, right? Or your natural connection to source, your divine self-expression. Why the Eight of Swords with the Six of Cups here? by the Eight of Swords with the Six of Cups. And as soon as you clear whatever that blockage may be, as soon as you heal whatever that may be, and not even, or just diving into it, you know, just becoming aware of whatever that this is. And what I'm seeing is that it's in the solar plexus, and it probably has to do with the inner child. In this reading, what I'm seeing here is you've done all the work. You released you've been through a lot in relationships and people, betrayal, etc. Those cycles are cleared out. There's something here with the inner child and the solar plexus. As soon as you do, the blessing, like I said in the beginning of the reading, I'm seeing your tears. I'm seeing all of your purges, whatever you've purged out mentally, emotionally, physically. Like the visual of Goddess Isis, Osset, and the Nile, all of her tears, the grief rituals of Isis are what were fertilizer, right? For whatever, that timeline, the blessings. That's what this is. So closing out this reading, confirmation. Your tears are simply fertilizer. Everything you purge, mind, body, and soul, is just fertilizer for your blessings. And again, with that innocence of a child, right? If we are to see maybe that healing cycle of like, oh my God, it destroyed me. It destroyed false foundations. It destroyed limiting beliefs. It destroyed a lot of different things that just were simply not in alignment on a soul level. Not to say it was easy, but it was fertilizer. And your wheel's about to turn, collective. I have chills as soon as I say that. You will see the fruits of your labor. Those seeds are going to sprout with the Seven of Pentacles. And the wheel's completely turning for you. The wheel of karma, whatever that may mean for you. So that's what I'm seeing here. Everything comes in. We have good news over here. I'm going to read the comments. Yes. Hi, Phoenix. Thank you for being here. Yes, that unicorn is new over there. My neighbor gave me 2 different unicorns. Hello. Hi, Lisa, Nana Bear. Yeah, so you may see some unicorn art because my neighbor gave me a bunch of unicorn art. Good. I'm happy that it resonates. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing here, where, again, even like say the inner child, right? Maybe, you know, everyone has their own inner child stuff. But even going back to that child where like if things were going left, negative, this or that we don't feel safe. It is safe to release. It is safe to take a sacred pause. It is safe to do all of these different things. It's safe to do so. All right, and you're receiving so much over here. What are some cards of advice for the collective when it comes to receiving these blessings? When it comes to receiving all of these blessings, you are, oh my gosh, you're in such a clean slate. Really on a soul, just energetic level, you're on a clean slate. Hello, Texas Maid, how are you? Great day. Hi, Boris. The Hierophant and the Ace of Pentacles. All right, you're in a brand new timeline, especially when it comes to abundance. When it comes, again, your blessings, whatever Ace of Pentacles is for your blessings, people, joy, love, abundance of all forms. You have the Hierophant over here too. Everything coming in, it's new, it's higher, it's very sacred over here with the Hierophant too. And for some of you, you may be signing some new contracts. I'm seeing higher contracts. Could be with people, with abundance, could even be with work. But what I'm seeing is contracts that you're going to sign, and these are higher level soul contracts. And for some of you, it might be like a physical contract that you do sign, but it feels like it's higher. All right, so that's what I have for you. We do have prayer ritual over here and Toweret. Okay, Toweret may resonate with you. Also, Toweret is such a protector of what it is that you birth into the world. So yes, of mothers of children, but even higher than that, the creations that you birth, right? The energy of creation, whatever you're birthing, Toweret protects that. We do have prayer ritual, you know, that can resonate with you as well. Some sort of prayer or ritual, maybe you've already done one. You could benefit maybe from some sort of cleansing or protection prayer and ritual. Why do we have, or rather, what do we have to close out this reading? The collective. For this is what they need to know before all of the blessings come in. This is what they need to know before all of the blessings come in. Something is a maybe. We do have maybe. Take a moment. Yeah, take a moment. It's like, oh, maybe. I don't know. 5. Oh, blessings. That's such a blessing, Texas Maid. There you go. May you have your blessings multiplied. 5, 1, 4, 4. Oh, that is, you're making me want to cry, Texas made. That's the like, that's how it happens. God bless you, Texas made. You just gave blessings to 5 people. Well, may you be blessed times 5. And number 5, there's a particular kind of goddess, I guess you could say, that resonates with the number 5. As soon as I say that, it goes to 25 seconds. May you be blessed times 5, Texas. And that's so tribe, that's so family. We share with one another, whether that be wisdom, abundance, an opportunity of this or that. That's how it is. That's how it goes. So 5 new members and channel members. Yes, I appreciate you, Benjamin Curry. So welcome, Elijah. Welcome, Elijah. Elijah lives 20 minutes from me. I know Elijah. So welcome, Elijah, now to channel members. Welcome, Eclipse Tarot. Welcome, Aaron Hardy. Welcome, Earth Fallen Rising. Welcome, Bambi777. All right, now we're going to have to do a channel members party. So we're going to have to go live on channel members separately for everyone. Now, again, we had take a moment and then maybe. There's something where it's like, do I do this? Do I do that? What Spirit is saying, and just in general, is to take moments to pause. Take a moment to pause. And to just feel into the energy, feel into how you feel, etc. Confirmation, as one of my mentors messages me, Sekhmet, High Priestess. So Sekhmet can also resonate with you. But what's also coming through is there are always actually so many blessings, right? But sometimes we're not always present, and the more present we are, the more we can see. The more we can see like the little details of the leaf. The more present we are, you just walk through your day, walking down the street, running to go get a coffee, which I do have coffee over here. But, like it says, American runs on coffee. That's still such a program, right? American runs on coffee. Let's run to get the coffee. If you were present taking a walk to get your coffee, there's a $5 bill on the floor, but you wouldn't have seen it if you were running to go get the coffee. And it's just those little things where it's slowing down a little bit, being present, which the world's going to think you're crazy if you're out there meditating and being present, but that's the highest truth. And so just making those little moments, if you can, just in any way, think of 3 things you can do in your life to slow your life down just a little bit, of like, I will do this, I will do that, just 3 things. That's also what's coming from the reading. Yeah, it was funny. This was with my son. He wanted to go to Build-A-Bear. And that it was magical though in the sense that I found a gift card that was Build-A-Bear and I didn't plan that one, but he wanted to go to Build-A-Bear so bad. I was just like, yeah, maybe. I ended up finding a Build-A-Bear card on the floor. No one is in sight at all. You'll ask, no one in sight, random, just Build-A-Bear card. You go and it's full with $20 on it. So it's just things like that where God, spirit, universe, whatever, is always trying to bless you. The universe is actually always conspiring in your favor. It's just taking those sacred pauses, slowing down enough to have that eye to see those things. No Starbucks today. I do like Starbucks too. I like chai tea. I have a new thing for chai tea now, where it's so good to me. River water reflecting on the tree above. Yes, exactly. That river water reflecting the tree above. And it was such a gift. You don't notice those things, right? When we're rushing and this and that and going from one place to another. Yeah, even like say for me, like I have trees all around here, present enough, you can actually hear that there's different birds that weren't here for months and this and that. Like there's an owl that I don't know which tree it's in. It was never here for months, and in the past 3 weeks, this owl is just here. Little things like that, which are just so cool, right? And bring you, whether it's bringing abundance and a blessing, or just a smile, which is the blessing. Yeah, I'm ruled by Venus. I am ruled by Venus. You're right, I romanticize life. I'm like, the oxygen, the way that the protons and electrons come together, it's so beautiful. But that's really how I do see life. My chart is ruled by Jupiter and Venus, so I'm just like, wow, the wind just caressed that leaf and it was just so beautiful. And yeah. gets me. I love romanticizing the simple things. Yeah, and that's the inner child too. It's like the inner child just taking the glue and the this and the that, and putting it together, right? Giving it to mom or dad. Like, here you go. Just seeing through the eyes of beauty. Yes. Seeing like that, and that's seeing through life, right? Through the eyes of a child. And again, not in a naive way, uh, in a way where it's seeing the beauty in life, the magic in life. A child sees all of the magic, etc. I do like coffee too, so no offense. Coffee's my vice a little bit. Yeah, coffee, I actually use it in meditation in the morning and I sit with it. My ancestors drank a lot of, coffee and things like that too. But I sit with it. And that's even with your coffee, right? When was the last time you tasted each note in your coffee? Like, and I mean the notes in your coffee, where like you can taste the bold flavor. There's a hint of like cinnamon or chocolate, and that is Tantra. Like that is Tantra. We had the reading on Tantra too, about like past lives, Egypt and things like that. It's being present enough in the body and in the moment where you're just feeling all of God. And we could think of it that way, slowing down, drinking your coffee. And some people may think you're an a-hole for taking your time, but I'm really trying to be present with God right now. Reframing that perspective of like, I'm being present with God. Right? Birds always are a great sign. Yes, coffee rib, I'm late. Hi, Ja. Thank you for being here. I love coffee. I sit in my yard every morning and feed the squirrels and birds. I love it. It's so peaceful and it's my time. Yes, thank you, Ashley. Yeah, I think sitting with coffee is such an act. It's an act of like being present. Coffee is a plant, and I am shamanic, some medicine woman and on my journey. And for me, I always connect to the plants anyway. So coffee, there's a spirit in coffee, and that's the highest truth. Like every plant has a spirit to connect to. And so in shamanism, I think it's a little bit too of like maybe connecting even to that spirit of coffee. That's really cool. Yes. Yes, Texas made. Yeah, we were talking about the Merkaba, and that is what it is. I talked to a tree the other day. I love it. Yeah, and even like animals, I have two ball pythons and I have a bearded dragon. And if you're present enough, like you'll notice that they're picking up on you, even telepathically, which someone might see me of like just looking at my snake and talking, but they pick up on the little things, and you're like talking to one another without talking, and it's so beautiful. Oh, it was hurting and complaining something at his base. It was a horseshoe. Yes, Robin. Yeah. Where it's like coffee is a spirit, so I'm sure we're also connecting to that spirit of, coffee, um, as we do that, which we think of like the elements of coffee, and it is like um, speeding things up, energy, etc., joy. So it's probably activating all of that. Good morning. We're talking about coffee here in this tarot reading. But we did actually close out this tarot reading over here. It is actually about taking the sacred pauses. It is about being very present. It's about allowing yourself to be activated. There's nothing wrong with your activation process. There's nothing wrong with your spiritual awakening, your Kundalini awakening process. You might purge and cry. You might take 2 days off to cry or this or that. And it's a very beautiful and sacred thing. Like in ancient times, a Kundalini awakening was very sacred, and everyone around you, the whole community is honoring that. And so I see just a shift in perspective here, where again, I was led to do this reading in this live that says, hey, this is only happening because there's a blessing coming in. But this is what the reading's about, where, hey, there's a really big spiritual collective. You have the Death card, you have Tower card, 5 of Wands, and this is just in the first placement. It was like boom, boom, boom. However, it's a road opener. And so if this reading resonates with you, or whenever you come across this, it resonates with you, I do see that life kind of got you for some time. There was a lot of awakening, but it was simply road openers. And I am seeing that your root chakra is clear and it's open to receiving. And that's what I see here. Hierophant with the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, a whole lot of things, new contracts, abundance that's coming in for you. I pray to coffee too. You do? I lost my job and trying to trust spirit, taking aligned action, allowing the pause for spirit to meet me. Smelling the roses. Yeah, stopping to smell the roses. Hello, Anishta. Hello, Lisa. I love it. Well, let's grab some extra cards of advice for this reading. So at least in this reading, we know, hey, that spiritual awakening was kind of messy. There's a lot of things that happened. But I understand now that it only opened all roads for me. And all of that healing, all of the clearing, every tear you cry, purge was simply fertilizer for all of these blessings that come in for you at the end of the reading. All right. What is the highest pieces of advice that the collective can use for this reading? You've been training for this for lifetimes. The age of light. The light, all right? Yeah, you went through a big clearing. You are here as part of the new age of Aquarius. You're here as a light worker, which again, light working isn't always it isn't always going to be Reiki or the tarot or the this or the that. It's very much of how embodied you are, how you divinely express yourself in your world, whatever that may be. But what you do need to know is you've been training for this for lifetimes. All right, I'm going to grab a few other cards of advice. What are some final cards of advice for the collective here? Yeah, we have Saint Germain. So you were could be working with the violet flame or encouraged to work with the violet flame. We do have the Holy Spirit over here too. All right. We have Mercury, open communication. Remember that we're in Gemini season. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Get away off of your chest, speak up with love, and be heard. All right, so Mercury, a lot of communication, right? You could even be clearing the throat chakra at this time. I do see there's a lot about relationships in the beginning of this reading, so there could have been, things with communication. We do have Mercury retrograde coming up. Now, Violet Flame with Saint Germain over here. We do have karma releasing, making room for good, for higher energy. And that's what I see over here. So for some of you, you could resonate with Violet Flame clearings and also just confirmation. You're just simply making room. Now we do have the Holy Spirit, expect miracles. And that's that thing, right, of the inner child over here. Remember that only love is real. Now, we're now in the new age, so spirituality of fluffy love and light. And I never will be, where it's just yeah, but just everything is, just there's honoring authentic truth, expect miracles. Remember that only love is real, but the highest truth is that only love is real. Giving your energy and no power to anything that's not of your soul's highest truth, your soul destiny, or that is not of unconditional love. Miracles will occur naturally. Spirit has your back. So what you do need to know is, yes, there was a lot going on over here. You definitely had a big spiritual awakening, but you don't even need to do anything, where I'm seeing that this awakening, the work it is that you're doing is the road opener. And naturally, this is all going to come in for you. The Holy Spirit. All right, I'm going to grab 2 final cards of advice. Highest blessings, Marlin. Did I say Merlin or Marlin? Merlin. Merlin energy. Oh, I love that on your altar. That's beautiful. All right. What are 2 more final messages for this reading for the collective? What are 2 more final messages? Full moon temple, which the full moon is coming up again. Is it June 9th or June 10th today? I don't know. But what I do know is that the full moon in Sagittarius is June 11th. So it's either tomorrow or a few days. Full moon temple. Whenever you're watching this, it can be for you. Celebration, peak, transcendent moment. And healing the earth, love, humility, and respect. All right, and that is what I'm seeing over here is there's some sort of perhaps healing for the full moon in Sagittarius. Yeah, there's some healing over here, and that's what I'm seeing. But it does say celebration, peak, and transcendent moment. Just know that whatever healing, whatever transmutation or alchemy that this is, it's only alchemizing to higher love and to these blessings for you. Alchemy, there we go. Confirmation that alchemy says hello. Yes. Pisces divine goddess, you are actually a spirit guide or oracle for me right now, where Spirit has told me to put certain things up and on my website and say certain things, and I haven't done it quite yet. She's saying Blue Rose. What's the name of the tobacco you suggested a few readings ago for mental clarity? hape or rape. It's a shamanic tobacco snuff, very, very sacred, that you can find online. We actually do sell it on Blue Rose Temple. I work with the tribes from Brazil, Peru, and Mexico, and we have a lot of tools over here. I just have to put them back on the website as I haven't. However, another website that's amazing is also Four Visions. So you could always go to Four Visions. You can Google that. They're awesome as well. I do need to put it back on the website. I was just talking to the shaman that I work with yesterday, where we actually just got a whole package. Like, look at this. We just got a whole package of rape hape stuff. So confirmation, if you're being called, this just came in the mail yesterday. And so Four Visions is awesome. Feel free to email me if you're interested in any of these products. I just have to put them back on the website as we do have a new shipment, but Four Visions is amazing. You can go on Google and look that up. But this is called a caripe. So this is how you would self-serve yourself, rape or hape. Yeah, for anyone who is interested. This particular medicine has supported my journey so much, really changed my entire life. As maybe 10 years ago, I was on so much ADHD medication, and I'm clearly neurodivergent. Like, you could see it. We are a spectrum household here. I have a 6-year-old too, who's also neurodivergent. And yeah, 10 years ago, I was on like just so much medication for ADHD. It was actually shamanism that grounded me. I met a shaman years ago, and I still remember the words he told me. He said, all you need to do is ground. Everything is there. You just need to ground. And so I went on a journey like 6 years ago, of shamanic ceremonies and grounding and things like that. So I actually don't really work with much of the entheogens, that are not so grounding. Most of what I work with is hape, rape, tobacco, or combo as well. Alchemy use it. Yes, it does. It really does. Yeah, if you're interested, from the website, as I'm the only one that touches it other than the shamans. So as far as our hape or rape, it comes straight from Brazil, just straight to either that one shaman that I work with or, to me. So it's only our hands that are touching it. So feel free to go to my email, let's go home 7777@gmail.com. As I am putting it on the website, your confirmation, because I was supposed to do it yesterday. But it's going to be on the website as of tomorrow, because that's the spirit of tobacco telling me to do so. So thank you for being an Oracle Pisces Divine Goddess. But yeah, also you could, Four Visions, again, go on Google. I would say that that's one of like the best brands that I've worked with as well. I'm not being sponsored by them. It's my free will to share it. They're awesome. All right, but let's get a light worker card to close out the reading. We're going to get 2 more cards. Divine Mother and Father, Holy Spirit of God. What's a final card from the Light Workers Oracle deck to close out this reading? Yes, reassurance of the golden light. I love how this reading just confirmed everything from start to finish over here. You're going through a big awakening. You're going through an awakening, whether that's a spiritual or Kundalini awakening, to the point where you're like, is someone even doing something to me? Actually, no, this is such a road opener. Your blessings are coming in, and all the cards confirmed it. We have alchemical mutation. All right, wisdom of the divine feminine. Again, when it comes to the spiritual awakenings, it forces us confirmation, because I just got my alarm went off for something else. But it forces you to surrender, right? To just be very present with spirit, with yourself, and with what's coming up, with your inner feminine. Wisdom of the divine feminine. And we do have reassurance of the golden light. And there goes the violet flame over here. Okay. So confirmation of that violet flame energy too. Although it's kind of a mess, whatever was happening in your life, that spiritual awakening, that Kundalini awakening, walking away from the people, it was messy. It was not so comfortable. But when we're going through those cycles, right? Wisdom of the divine feminine. The divine feminine is unseen energy, right? We don't see it. We just simply feel it. I don't quite see the end of the tunnel here, but I understand that all of this is conspiring in my favor and working out for me. And again, there are such things as negativity and things like, people do things. But what I am seeing here is like, no one necessarily sent you energy. I do see things with people, but it was only to let those people out of your life. No one sent you any energy. If there was misunderstandings, they walked away or this or that. that was for you to realign with this organic New Earth Ascension timeline, your highest timeline, whatever that means for you. And you are performing alchemy over here, okay? You're performing alchemy. As soon as Victoria comes in the chat. Hi, Victoria. All right, we do have reassurance of the golden light. So beautiful energy. And it feels like this reading is reassurance that, like, yeah, that awakening, when it's uncomfortable and messy to the point where you're just like, no, somebody has to be sending energy my way. Now, again, there are some things with people here, but the people being removed from your life are not in soul alignment anyway. And that's like what was coming through over here. Oh, there's just little redirection shifts and changes. Or it's like, oh, I was spending all my time with that person, and that's shifting, So just whatever resonates with you, it's a general timeless reading. But that's what I have for you. I hope that it resonates in a positive way and at least brings some light to whatever that this cycle is. And it is the Kalima energy, this particular reading, where it's just like swords and this and that, but at the end of the day or at the end of the reading has completely realigned you with your highest timeline, soul destiny, protected you, etc. So many shifts. This year I will say it is the Kundalini year. This is the year of Kundalini, the year of the snake, the serpent. And so we think of a snake or a serpent, right? It sheds every month. And highest truth is that we're actually coming into more of that feminine cycle, which is cyclic, right? Cycles. The moon operates in a cycle. Why are we humans now doing it if the earth is operating in a cycle, And so that's like why a lot of these things are coming up too. We're going to have to honor it, and just like a snake or a serpent sheds its skin each month, we as humans feels like coming into this higher timeline of ascension, of shifting. And I don't want to use the words quicker because it's actually asking us to be more present, but I would say timelines are definitely speeding up, definitely, which it's in both ways. Those blessings are coming in, there's work and the healing that's happening too. Jaimwa Kalimwa, yes, Texas me. Aggress. Wait, what's your name? I can't even say. Femagress. I will say, I'm not going to say exactly out loud, but I was just watching a video of exactly what you're talking about, a particular podcast. So that's just him coming through here of yes. I just watched a whole hour podcast of a 12-year-old who was channeling exactly what you're talking about. So yes, that's a big, strong yes, because that was all morning this morning. I didn't say that part. Hi, everyone. Yes, hi, Jose. Yes, you're the snake. Have a great day. Yes, you too, Lisa. I go live, impromptu pop-up lives. I'll try to plan one more like in advance and things like that. There's been so much shifts here too. There's been so much shifting. We're preparing for, there's going to be 2 weeks of, actually speaking of that spirit of like Rape and Hape, at the end of the month, I'll be going to California for like a shamanic kind of like retreat. It is just me and one person, but I'm going to be sitting with the spirit of Hape, Rape, and tobacco in California for a few days at the end of the month. And then we do have some soul tribe ceremonies too, for 2 weeks in July. And so there's definitely a lot of different circles and groups it is that we're preparing. Soul tribe is definitely coming together. I'm seeing it all over, whether that be online, physically, be open to the new souls coming into your life, be open to re-meeting souls, and just be open to union of all forms. Yes, God bless you too. I love that confirmation, Femme Aggress, though. That's such a big confirmation, even for me, for this morning too. So bless you. All right, but that's what I have for you. I do hope that it resonates. We do have an all signs reading as well as a Pisces reading that went up today too. Yeah, I'm going to be in Cali. That came out of nowhere. And I said that in the other reading too. If an opportunity comes your way, and that's actually what happened to me, is I was just scrolling. I don't watch tarot at all, like YouTube tarot, but I just saw like the caption, the Sun card. I saw the caption, if you get a crazy travel opportunity, take it no matter what. when I tell you, out of nowhere, someone just writes me a message and says, hey, is there any way you could get out to California? And if you can, you're staying with me. And that's like, what happened? Sun card over here. My sun line is in California, actually. So my sun line is in California, but I'm going to be there for a few days doing a lot of shamanic work. So if you live in California, I'm going to be maybe an hour or so from Sacramento. Feel free to email me if you would like a call to gather. And then we do have some shamanic ceremonies in the state of Connecticut in the month of July. So my email is letsgohome7777, so 4 7s @gmail.com. And feel free to reach out about those opportunities. There's certain things I don't always post on the website where it's like, if you're able to find out, about this circle or this ceremony, then we do. And we do have a few in July in the state of Connecticut, but it's not going to be on the website. So feel free to email me if this is something that interests you. Yes, blessings to you, Femigrass. We do have a retreat, January 2026. It's going to be in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is the heart space portal of the world. It's really all of the Caribbean. So even Caribe. So what that means is strong people. So the Caribbean is actually the balance key point or the heart portal key point of the New Earth Ascension grid system. So when you go to the Caribbean islands, you're able to both kind of soak in, right? Like the masculine and feminine energy and come into balance with whatever it is that you need. So when you go into the Caribbean, and that's all of the Caribbean, it all has an energetic signature in our Earth's crystal grid system of balance. 144, as I say that, in the heart space, which the heart space is that portal that connects, these two. So we do have a shamanic ceremonies and retreat in July, and not July. We do in July too, but January 2026, the other month that starts with a J. So there's payment options available, Hi, how are you? There's payment options available if that resonates with you for you to be able to attend and to join. And you can always book a free discovery call if you are planning to join us and just want to chat with me beforehand. That's all on the website. So you can book that on the website. All right, but I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you to the oracles in here too that were giving me messages as well. I'm going to put some of those things on the website. But I'm sending you all so much love. Yeah, the reading, was coming through even before I came here was, hey, the collective needs to know that there's something happening, but the blessing is coming right afterwards. And the cards just all confirmed it. Now that was an awakening. Don't know what happened there, but that was an awakening. There was a whole lot of clearing. It seems like with people, just different areas of your life. However, it was the road opener that actually sped up your timeline and realigned you to your soul's truth and your soul destiny. All right, so that's what I have for you. I hope that it resonates. I am sending you all so much love, so many blessings. Remember, we actually have the coupon code for 15% off Saturn Blessings. So Saturn Blessings, and it's 15% off anything that's on the website. But I am sending you all so much love, so many blessings, and I will see you tomorrow for some more Pisces and Ancient Souls readings. Bye for now. Thank you for being here. Yes, thank you, beautiful soul. Thank you for being here.